This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. With that, we're off to the Rocky Mountain. Standing by in Denver, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between our visitors and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now's where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That one good for 13 and a Charger first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Galloway. Checks this down to Edwards out of the backfield. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll bring up a second down. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
Keenan Allen checks every box for me as a receiver. Size, speed, strength, intelligence in what he's doing. But I love his competitiveness. When that ball's in the air, he goes after it and usually comes down with it. And last but not least, we can lay to bed the myth that he can't run fast. Keenan Allen can get up and go.
56, Mike, 56, right there.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Complete. It's Henry. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
So now here are the Broncos for their first drive of the game. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 134 yards.
And a rushing title is definitely within sight, so the excitement on the offensive side of the football, I mean, they're bouncing off the walls wanting to get out there, but they also understand that they're going to face some really stacked defenses down the stretch because they don't want it to happen at their expense.
From the 44, Lock, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Now Lock. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Come on, set. 10-2 stop. We got to get the ball. Can you get the ball? Hit it.
On 1st and 10, here's Lock. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Timmy Jernigan with a sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. On 2nd down, here's Lock. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joey Bosa, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Heading back out, the Chargers offense. We get a peek at the playoff picture of the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
2nd and 9 now. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, A little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. Teddy Bridgewater, a first-quarter touchdown pass in that one. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys good, backside guys,
man,
that's what you're supposed to do?
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
Go now, 8 lead. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go.
On first down, Locke. Catch made here by Campbell. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
Now Locke again. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Harris Campbell with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. 6-0 our score after 1. Back to throw. Galloway, he can run for it, and he will. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. No gain on the dump off at second down. To throw on second down. Galloway. That's into the hands of Edwards. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Galloway, and it's complete. Henry. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Galloway dumps it off to Edwards. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Off the play fake. Galloway. And an alley to run. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
2nd and 2. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
I'll bet they thought they had picked that one up because it was a 3rd and 2 call, and they got awfully close. Now we're at 4th and inches. I wonder if they think they're feeling lucky here and maybe want to go pick it up.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing on first down is Locke. Campbell making the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
Go now.
Locke now on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Campbell. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure to him.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Joey Bosa in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Situation. Let's go. Check out. Get it.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. This is the tight end Fant. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. To throw it is Locke. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Charger defense stands tall and they get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from game. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Let's take it at around the 40. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit from the same spot again.
We'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They look to throw. It's Locke. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. He was looking that time to get it to Paris Campbell, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's Locke. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Paris Campbell with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had to...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field...
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Locke going to throw. And he will get into the end zone. So the lead stretches from 9 up to 11. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin out in the windy city of Chicago. And as they approach halftime, it's the Bears who are out in front. The Bears still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. 2 touchdown passes there for Mitchell Trubisky. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And that game all tied up as they do battle with the visiting Lions. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Broncos with the lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A nice start to the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Lock now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing now is Locke. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Locke working out of the gun. Gets this to Campbell out on the right side. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover and double?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On second down, it's Edwards. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
From the gun on 3rd down, Galloway steps away and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Again, it's Edwards. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the gun on 3rd down, Galloway, and he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Locke and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their own 24. On play action, Locke into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now it's Edwards. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
A throw over the middle, taken in. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Galloway, and down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The sack there by Bradley Chubb. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. A solid first half for him, and so far a good start to the second half.
And I'm going to try not to go overboard with praise here, but I can't help it. He is playing so well. Really accurate with the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
He's been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Throwing his lock on third down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on fourth down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position.
Come on, set. 15, run. 15, run.
On the draw is Edwards. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. As his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos push further out in front. Now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming. Here's Locke to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Here we go.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he loses the football a second time. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Galloway. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. The Chargers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Galloway checks this down to Edwards out of the backfield. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here I come.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kaiser White, and he is all the way up past the 25. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, fourth quarter. On first down, Galloway. He'll get this to Edwards out of the backfield. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to throw. Galloway looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Galloway throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 4. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Operating from the gun, Galloway. Now the ball comes loose. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head. Yeah,
not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
56 to Mike, 56, check 56.
Now a handoff looking right. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. From midfield, here's Locke. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards. Well, clear running situation. Trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit him over the top.
Block now to throw. Steps away to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Buying time, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now Locke. And the pressure gets to him again. Joey Bosa, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And they'll indeed take a knee. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And they take a knee. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire 2nd half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them in just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity.